Innovation now sits at the heart of modern banking, delivering new products for customers as well as meaningful digital experiences for customers and employees alike. And at the centre of this is Buildings IoT, which enables large enterprise organisations to analyse their environment and make real-time adjustments to improve efficiencies and productivity and maximise the potential of increasingly automated buildings. So today I'm meeting Dirk Naylor, Senior Vice President, Major Accounts at Wesco Anixter, to learn more about how banks can act with agility, incorporating the right technologies to thrive. Hi, Dirk.
Hi, Chris. Glad to be with you today.
Dirk, Wesco, the global leader in electrical communications and supply chain services, and Anixter, leaders in communications, networking and control applications, merged in 2020. What can you tell us about the background to the deal and the benefits now for large enterprise organizations, especially banks, your important customers?
The offerings that we now have are far broader than they would have been as two individual organizations. Very solid in the way of communication solutions that we bring to market. The electrical portfolio that we have is far wider than it ever was as two individual organizations. Very strong in the broadband solutions that we bring. So our footprint is one of the major advantages that we now have. We have in excess of 300 cities that we service. Very large footprint, which can help on major deployments that banks would have in terms of trying to generate consistencies. The other area that I would highlight would be now coming together the technology solutions that we bring to bear. And ironically, I come to you today from Chicago, Illinois, in our brand new Innovation Center, which is an area that we've put together that allows our customers to come in and have kind of forward-looking discussions about the roadmap that they want to have around technology. And then the last area that I think that I would highlight that comes together is now our service offerings. So we have the ability now not only to determine what technology that you need to have in your facilities, but how we can help you deploy that around the world from a logistics perspective and be far more efficient.
What are the main challenges facing financial institutions as we approach this new era they call the fourth industrial revolution?
And there's kind of a few different tracks that we're seeing that are challenges. And in our mind, challenges certainly equal strong opportunities as well. The first of those two tracks I would highlight is the changing landscape of the customers that the financial institutions are trying to service. What we see is the demographics are changing. The demographics in terms of age and what the desires that the banking customers have. Just the other day, we heard a stat that said 1.7 billion people on this earth are unbanked. They don't even utilize banks today. So there's where the challenge becomes the opportunity that they have. But also this demographic and the younger generation certainly wants to do more from a digital perspective and having banking at your fingertips. So we see that as certainly a trend. So the banks have to make sure they've got a solid digital strategy to be able to get after that. The second challenge that we see is the competitive landscape has changed quite a bit. We hear from senior leaders in the banks where the historical direct line competition has changed and moved to some of the high-tech companies that have a robust platform and the abilities to attract a lot of clients very, very quickly. So you listen to the C-suite and many of the banks are really concerned about where that competition will come from.
And how are financial institutions approaching investment in innovation? In your view, are they reacting to digital transformation quickly enough?
Many of the institutions are willing to spend the capital around equipment and around the technology. I think what they're really focused on right now, though, is on human capital, on people that are going to focus more aggressively on outcome-based solutions that the technology will enable them to drive. So an example of this is one of our largest customers that we had a meeting with a few months ago actually has stood up an organization that focuses on adopting all different types of IoT devices in their enterprise across the world. So they can focus 100% of their time on trying to utilize the technology to drive the outcome that they desire, either to be more efficient internally or to be able to attract more customers or what have you.
How can financial institutions harness innovation to drive process improvement across their enterprise?
I think in many cases, the back office utilization of data is incredibly important for them to be able to digitize their business. So the landscape around data centers and how they're building that around the world is changing. So whether that organization wants to outsource their needs, insource and use their own capital to build their own data centers, it is changing, and the architecture is changing to the point where they need to utilize that data center and the compute far closer to the customer, the consumer, to eliminate latency. We see this as a major area for them in harnessing these technology and helping them from a back office perspective and utilizing all this compute to make them more successful in what they're trying to execute on all the technology into their business.
Let's talk now more specifically about automated buildings. How can your large enterprise customers, banks, maximize the potential of increasingly automated buildings?
Right now, the huge effort to bring employees back to the office is forcing them to accelerate any adoption around the building technology that they've had to endure or look at and figure out what they want to do. I'll give you an example of one of our customers that wants to create an environment for their employees. So they're trying to utilize the real estate footage that they have, which is quite large, but what they envision today is as you are on your way into the office, on your mobile device, you will be assigned a parking spot in one of the garages they have. As you get to the garage, you will ultimately be assigned to a particular desk that would be hoteling that you could come in and utilize for the day. So just small examples of obviously technology-led solutions that are allowing the customers, whether they be banks, to be able to figure how they can maximize this large investment in real estate that's going unused today. We've stood up within our organization an advisory team that can come out and offer advisory services to ask questions about what's your sustainability goal? What goals do you have to maximize your square footage in your building? And help the organizations along a journey to determine exactly what they want to do.
And how will this help sustainability, enable creation of new digital experiences for a bank's customers and employees, mitigate risk, and ensure resiliency and constant availability of a bank's mission-critical systems?
If you think about that building, and you think about utilization and making sure that you're harvesting the power and light harvesting and figuring out how you're going to optimize the consumption of energy, that would be one aspect that I think could lead to that. I would also look in the commercial side of the banks. If you went to branches and if you dealt with an institution with 400 to 500 facilities from a branch perspective, how can they use edge devices to be able to maximize how they're utilizing those branches? I think there's a vast array of capabilities that the technology will allow, again, from an outcome-based solutions that will help these large institutions be far more efficient in what they're doing with their own business, and then utilizing, as I said, the technology to help them get there as well.
Thanks, Dirk. Some great responses. So, there you have it. Banking in an era of enabling innovation. Still a work in progress, but much has been done already, and the benefits are huge. Thanks for watching.